6:48, the headlines you need to know in this Tuesday morning Sunrise Smart Start. Breaking overnight, another attempted smash and grab happened here in Rochester, this time at a Dunkin' on Lake Avenue in Lexington. Look at some of that damage there in this footage. Police tell us whoever's responsible and did this intentionally crashed the car into the building to try to steal things. That was around 10:30 last night. Nothing was actually stolen, though. As they were investigating on scene, police later noticed an abandoned Hyundai nearby that had a good bit of damage on it. Police also believe at this point the car may have been stolen. No suspects in custody just yet. If you have any leads that can help with that attempted smash and grab at the Dunkin', you're asked to please call 911. The latest updates this morning on the chaos that unfolded yesterday afternoon here in Rochester. Police officers and sheriff's deputies shot and killed a wanted man after reports of multiple crimes in recent days in a high-speed chase. Jatira Marsh joins us live downtown at RPD headquarters with everything we know about this shooting so far. Jatira.
Brennan, that man who has yet to be identified was shot dead on Barrington Street here in Rochester, sending a school nearby on lockout. Investigators say the man was seen Monday morning driving a vehicle potentially linked to two other shootings and pulled out a hunting-style knife when confronted by officers around 1 p.m. Investigators say the man threatened deputies with the knife and ran. RPD says deputies shot at least once as the man fled. Officers and deputies chased the man through yards, ultimately finding him in the backyard of a house on Barrington Street. They say he displayed a shotgun towards the officers and deputies and wouldn't drop it. Investigators say at that point, officers and deputies shot the man multiple times.
When officers approached the male, at some point weapons were introduced and shots were fired. That male has ultimately been struck by at least one round fired from the officers that were involved in this incident. That male has been pronounced deceased here at the scene. We've had some parents arrive on scene. What we're doing is we triage to a specific area of the school that doesn't involve going through the scene. That it also involves keeping the children safe, so coming out in one area, having the parents come pick those children up and safely evacuating them in an orderly fashion versus having all the parents rush here all at once, where all the students come out at once. We're trying to work them through in what would be the most appropriate and simple way for those students.
The New York State Attorney General's office is investigating, along with RPD and MCSO, to determine whether officers and deputies were following policy, procedures, guidelines, and training. Brennan, back to you.
All right, Jatira, thank you covering that big story for us all morning. It is 6:51. Let's turn now to your forecast for the day ahead. James, we've got some changes coming later in the week, but today we're looking all right.
Yeah, and starting to just see first twilight, official sunrise time at 7:12. Good to see that. More sunshine for you today. Let's glance at the morning checklist. We like getting those sunglasses. How about that medium jacket? No need for your boots or umbrella, maybe hat and gloves. We'll put that right on the edge there. But still, an easy morning to take. Good afternoon. Highs right around 50. We'll take a look at the 8-day forecast at the end of the show in a couple of minutes, Brennan.
All right, thank you, James. Your sunrise traffic here as we've got 9 minutes to go until 7 o'clock. Accidents we've been following out on the west side, Emerson and Avery, Lexington and Norman as well. One of those being a broken down car. And then that other one just told you about, 104 eastbound at Goodman Street, right there at the border with the city and Irondequoit. More news happening today. It is the funeral for Brandy Miller, the Rochester woman, one of 3 women killed after being trampled in the crowd surge at the Main Street Armory. The community gathered yesterday to remember her and pay their respects. Calling hours were last night in Rochester on West Avenue at the Salvation Army Chapel. That is where her funeral begins later this morning, coming up at about 11 o'clock. We have learned former President Donald Trump is not expected to be indicted today, despite his own claims on social media over the weekend. Preparations are still underway to seal off criminal court in Manhattan, protecting those inside from potential protests if there is an arrest and when that might happen. A grand jury is investigating whether Trump faked business records linked to hush money payments to former adult film star Stormy Daniels, claims he has denied. Jury selection here is underway in the trial of a man charged with the attempted murder of a police officer in Rochester. It was May last year. Police responded to Avenue D for a fight when they say they saw Isaiah Williams holding a handgun. They say Williams fired a shot at officers before running off. No officers were hit. He was later arrested and charged with aggravated attempted murder of an officer, menacing an officer, and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. A man remains in critical condition after he got trapped inside a machine here in Rochester at International Paper, that plant in the city. That happened around 11:30 Sunday night. Police tell us when they arrived, co-workers were already performing CPR on the victim. A spokesperson for IP says safety is a core value at International Paper. Our thoughts are with our team member and his family. Jury selection continues this morning in the trial of a man accused of killing a woman in Webster. In October 2019, police say Piero Scala stabbed Kathy O'Brien at a home on Oakdale Drive. We're told the 2 were acquaintances. He's facing a number of charges, including second-degree murder. Officers back then, again in 2019, originally responded to the home of the victim for a call for a welfare check. That's when they found the body at the home. A man 34 years old from Cheektowaga who came to Rochester to have sex with a 13-year-old did plead guilty to attempted receipt of child pornography. According to U.S. attorneys, Muhammad Udine tried to engage in online sexual relations with an undercover officer who he thought was the 13-year-old. Over the course of 3 weeks, Udine sent pornography, asked for the favor to be returned, then tried to meet that supposed girl at her home here in Rochester for sex. Sentencing is scheduled for the end of June. The DEA, local law enforcement, and lawmakers are sounding the alarm about a new drug running rampant on the streets. Xylazine, also known as the zombie drug, is known to cause skin to rot, and it cannot be treated with Narcan. While this is normally used by veterinarians to tranquilize large animals, it's showing up in various street drugs, and that is leading to dozens of deadly overdoses around the community. In Wayne County yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer stopped by, calling on the federal government to put up more than $500 million for local law enforcement to crack down on the drugs distribution. Schumer says if that funding, if approved in Washington, that approval would come this summer. The money would be available here for law enforcement by the fall. Here's something else some people will be talking about today. A couple of announcements. Let's start with theater fans. Jiva Theater Center has announced its special lineup for the 51st anniversary season. It starts on the Yellow Brick Road. Jiva will have a season-strong kickoff with a fan favorite, The Wizard of Oz. By the end of the year, Ebenezer Scrooge makes his annual return to the big stage in the production A Christmas Carol. In between, they've got some thrilling murder mysteries as well. We've got the dates, the lineup of each show posted in this coverage at rochesterfirst.com. Mentioning Ebenezer Scrooge here in still middle of March. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. That's a long time running event here. All right, let's talk about getting out this morning. Yeah. 35.
You know, sometimes you feel like Ebenezer Scrooge trying to get your kids out of bed. Going to school today, right? We've got temperatures starting off in the mid-30s and finishing around 50. It's a good day, though. Weather-wise, real nice out there. Sunrise at 7:12, just a few moments. We're getting a little bit of twilight right now, so it's a pretty start to the day. 8-day forecast, even warmer weather ahead Wednesday, Thursday, mid to upper 50s. Comes with rain. The scattered showers tomorrow, that's really for the second half of the day. Yep. Off and on showers Thursday, and then we're watching in our next system by the weekend.
That's what you get this time of year with a warm-up like that, close to 60. Our next update coming up here at News 8 in about half an hour. CBS Mornings this Tuesday. Next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.